Hey everyone, welcome to the Freshwater Weekly Update. We are still going through some design changes here at the store, getting ready to expound on our plant section. That's what I'm most excited about. And right now, as you can see, coming through right now are all the new tanks that we just got in. We have got in, either today, tomorrow, and Friday, we have a significant amount of new tanks that are coming in. I think I've pretty well now got almost every size. Before we get too deep into the freshwater fish, I want you to consider the filtration on your tank. If you have been looking for a canister filter, there is a reason we love the Fluval FX series, the FX4s and the FX6s. We love them so much that Guy's trying to corner the market by buying every one that he can find. Faster, in fact, than Scott and Kevin can get them priced. So if you're in the market for a canister filter or you want some superb filtration on your freshwater tank, come in and let one of us show you why you might want to consider the Fluval FX series. It is what we use in service on all of our different service accounts, regardless of the size tank. No, we haven't put one on a 10-gallon yet, but most anything that's got any size on it that I need to be able to walk away from and not worry about, this is what I use on it. As with every week, there are some super cool things that came in this week. One that might actually get Ryan in trouble. So we'll look at that shortly, since he got a little crazy buying certain rare fish this week. On the list, we've got a really cool Geophogus. We have got a puffer that I'm gonna kill him for, and a couple other things. So let's just jump right in and get to it. We're going to start with a beautiful Pleco right now, if he'll let me. This is the tiger head Pleco, and it does kind of look a little bit like a snow leopard or something like that, because it's actually, I wouldn't say it's fully white between the stripes, but as you can see, it's got a really nice pattern. Really cool front end, and a little different than some of the more showy Plecos that we get. A great one. Not super expensive in the way of rare Plecos, but a very cool one nonetheless, the tiger head Pleco. Okay, so next is the redfin thresher Pleco. Now this is a cool Pleco, specifically because of the fin. I would assume it got its name because of the threshing look of the tail, the kind of elongated tail. It's a little different. It's more of a sharp-nosed Pleco, very similar to a vampire Pleco, excuse me. Really cool spots, nice colorations, and kind of mashed into the back of the body is also some vertical lines as well. So a very cool Pleco you should see. Beautiful clown loaches came in this week. The color on these guys is just wow, eye-popping. A lot of times they haven't colored up with such extreme colorations at this size, but these, I don't know if you can really get it clear in the video, but the fins on these guys, it's not orange like you usually see it, it is red. Beautiful, bottom dwelling, very adaptable in almost any kind of a fish tank or scenario, with the exception of maybe African cichlids, and even then they probably work sometimes, but a great bottom-dwelling fish with a lot of color for a freshwater tank. And these dwarf rainbows are cool that came in this week. They are schooling as a little group. They go everywhere with each other throughout the tank since they've been out. They are already starting to show the blue and light little bits of red in them, but I can imagine how good they would look in a planted tank. What have you got there?
Amazon puffers.
What have you got there?
More Amazon puffers.
What have you got there?
Puffers.
Why don't you just listen? Okay, this is a break. This doesn't ever happen, or I don't allow this to happen when we're doing the weekly update. I started the video with I'm gonna kill Ryan. Let's just put your little puffers down and go get the puffer that you bought without telling anybody. Okay, why don't you tell us all about this puffer, Ryan?
So here we have the pig nose, or aka arrowhead puffer. Kind of a baked potato for your aquarium. He'll hang out, he'll bury himself in the sand. He's an ambush predator. Definitely a single fish per the tank, but you can get away with him in a 20-gallon because he doesn't do anything. He just sits there and hangs out. You'll see him swim around hunting for fish, shrimps. Just like every other puffer, you want to feed them that hard stuff for the beak to control that. If not, it's a bad time for everyone involved.
And since we've never had this puffer in stock before, because nobody's been crazy enough to order it.
At least I'm not Grace and ordering 3 things you hate.
Because, we'll talk about the Geophagus in a minute. The puffer that you've decided to order that is, again, an ambush predator, which basically means if you want to show a picture of your tank with the puffer underneath the sand, where it looks like there's nothing in there, just to drop a fish in there when your friends come over for the excitement that it's going to...
Pretty much.
Okay.
Hey, at least it's not the wolffish cat guy.
So last, is this a true freshwater puffer?
True freshwater puffer.
I don't like to show these all the time because we don't get them all the time. That's not the reason I don't like to show them all the time. The reason I don't is because I like them so much I would put them in almost every video every time we had them. These are small royal Farlowellas. These grow into very, very cool algae eaters. They are, I mean, there's just so much to the design of this fish. If you want a fish with a wow factor to eat algae in your tank, this would be a great one. It's not super expensive, but it is super cool. And a lot of times when we get the royal Farlowellas, they're really, really big. They've already grown pretty large. These are pretty small specimens, and I think I have 2, maybe 3. So if you want that little added extra something different in your tank, as you can see, they're in a tank with extremely small fish. They'll also be adapted in larger semi-aggressive tanks. This would be a very, very cool algae-eating fish to have. All right, these are still floating, but these are Amazon puffers that have come in. This is one of the only peaceful, if that can be said, and I wouldn't call them truly peaceful. Don't go putting them in with neons. But they are a more peaceful species of true freshwater puffer. These puffers could go with things like your tiger barbs. They could go in with fast-moving fish like your danios, giant danios, maybe rainbow fish, loaches, things like that. So if you ever were going to try a puffer, and I still say puffers do best in a species-only tank, but you could broach trying to put these in with faster-moving, semi-aggressive fish. You might have some luck with that. And again, we don't get too many true freshwater puffers, but this is an Amazonian puffer that just came in. Okay, so this is the Geophogus Winemilleri. This is an offshoot of the Surinamensis, which is one of my favorite Geophagus because of the color. These guys have not colored up yet, as well as they will when they're not stressed and in the bag. But geos are great for a lot of reasons. You can put them with much smaller fish. They are not an aggressive cichlid, even though there might be some territorial issues when they kind of make their little cave habitat. But they're really cool. They will move rocks around your tank. That's one of the things they're noted for. But the family of Geophagus on the whole just make a really, really cool, larger group of kind of relaxed, laid-back cichlids that you can have in a tank. And I got 3 of these. They will go fast probably, but just wanted to show those as they are about to be put out as well. Okay, while you can't have this guy with a lot of fish, I did get one, and anytime they come on the list, because they're pretty rare for us to get, this is a red wolffish. So you can kind of look up what his adult form and colors look like. It is a fairly feisty, fairly aggressive little guy, but a lot of people like really cool oddities for their freshwater tanks and that have multiple tanks. So this is one that will go fast, since typically when we get them, we sell out of them fast. I got one this week. Probably never guess where the banjo catfish got its name. Yep, they look exactly like banjos. This is a really cool bottom-dwelling catfish that is highly adaptable in a lot of different situations. They're going to love hiding in places in the bottom of the tank, but when they make an appearance, they look cool. It's a flattened catfish, really cool spots, really cool fins, and something we haven't had in quite some time. So these just came in the door, and you got to see them because they're gorgeous. Premium grade butterfly koi. There are going to be some pretty phenomenal colors in here. Thank you, Hayden. Beautiful designs, beautiful markings, and it's pond season. So we're trying to get the fish unpacked for you. There are a lot more freshwater that have come in that have literally just come in the door, and I wanted to show you the highlights. Pond season is fully on this week. It's going to be this way for probably the rest of the year or rest of the summer at least. So from week to week, you're going to see some pretty phenomenal koi and outside type goldfish like your Sarasa comets, your pool comets, and things like that coming in. So definitely stay tuned. Come see the new store. Tanks, stands, canopies, so much is coming in. I want you to have a great week, a blessed Easter week, and I'll see you back here next. No, I won't. Actually, I'm going to be on vacation next week working on my own pond. So you will actually get help from the maestro himself. Sir Richard Bullard is going to do the freshwater update next week, and Reagan will handle things with saltwater. I will see you back here in a fortnight. Have a great week.